Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is the 25th of July and it is 2 minutes past 9 according to my watch. And as of now, I do not know if we have this, if people are expecting us tonight. But in case they are, let's have a show. So if you're up to it,
islands in the sun, islands in the fun. Welcome, welcome one and all to the land of death. Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the bone. When it comes to Bacchanal, well, they can't beat me at Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the bone. Sweet woman parade abundantly, the brethren live for the energy. Some people say God is a Trinity, paradise on earth convincingly. God gave us a spirit fiery, but nothing in the world of bother. But look at smart and God when we money, we still go out and mash up the party. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up the country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. Oh, from Togo to Caroline. Oh, Maramba to San Souci. Oh, from Scarborough to Cocorie. Oh, profiling on Frederick Street. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. More place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. All these years I spent abroad in the only to be home. Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the bone. Lord, I pray that some sweet day I will no longer have to roll. Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the bone. The problems we have are plain to see.
Yes.
We prove we can stand this
Yes.
scrutiny. All I know that true democracy.
how we vote is not how we party. And that is why I play that song to open. How we vote is not how we party. And that is the problem with Trinidad and Tobago. That is what we've allowed them to do and to get away with.
The problems we have are plain to see. Oh, how I love up my country. Sweet,
I want you to hear.
TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. All these years
That's
I
right.
spent abroad in the cold, longing to be home.
Trinity to the bone. Hear this, sir.
Trinity to the bone.
Lord, I pray that some sweet day I will no longer have to roll.
Trinity to the bone.
To my overseas peppers, to all Trinis,
The problems
My
we
brother.
have are plain to see.
we prove we could stand the scrutiny.
All I know that
True democracy
how we vote
is not how we party.
There's no place like home, some people say. Though some have to leave to make their way. But in your hearts, I know their destiny. So come home and big up the country. Sweet, sweet TNT. Lord, how I love up this country. Sweet, sweet TNT.
No place in this world I'd rather be.
Sweet TNT. Lord, how I love up my country. Sweet TNT. All this sugar can be good for me. Oh,
tomorrow. David Rudder has built a legacy of words that mapped our culture, our people, and our country indelibly and will last forever. David Rudder is the greatest of all times. Anybody tell you different, tell them they know nothing about writing music and producing music. And I don't care who will what. David Rudder, the greatest of all times.
From Pina to Grand River, sweetness in abundance everywhere. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet TNT. All this sugar can't be good for me. No, 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 no. Na, 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 na. Sweet TNT.
And as a born Trinidadian, I want all them PNM sycophants that Manning and Rowley put in all of them positions, in all of them state agencies, to hear me roar and hear me come in. I will stand in your face and demand that you do your job. And please, don't come at me with no black or Indian or no racist bullshit. All Trinidadians is Trinidadians, and you'll treat everybody with dignity and respect, or we will not stop till we fire your stunting ass. Trust me. All I want, more music?
Whoa.
Give them something.
Come in, come in,
Come in.
yes. What do you want to call it? You want to call it? To mash up the place, to mash up the place. What do you want to call it? To mash up the place. Spread your hands and let go. Spread your hand in the air, everybody. Spread your hands and let go. Hand in the air.
And we could talk, and we could play, and we could laugh, and we could joke, and we could bitch, and we could bad talk. But last night, my partner Brian saw in El Socorro get jumped by a man and trying to draw his licensed firearm to defend himself, get shot. And nearly dead. And in hospital. Shatter one of the bones in his leg. And this weekend, Trinidad's mixed martial artist, Dwayne Hines, ended up hiding below a van. The baddest fighter in Trinidad, gunplay around his vehicle. So all of we who play in the ass, all of we who stunt for them, they laughing at you. Today, Sabga Media announced Sabga buy Trinidad Aggregate Products. And them stunting jackasses who work in Sabga Media will never be able to buy a house. But they celebrated Massa buy Trinidad Aggregate Products. So now, Abel own clay blocks, Trinidad Aggregate Products. So the price of blocks going up and you can't afford a home. But chow with you, celebrate for somebody else. That is why we stupid. We are stupid and joke, you know. We dotish. We have a stupid gene. They have something in Trinidad and Tobago. And let me tell you something. I applaud in Sabga. Boy, piss on the back, boy. Look, climb up on the shoulder. They dotish. They stupid. Take advantage. Great-grandson, a pack of bullshit. And Phillip Alexander, once again, because everybody sat back, and the media published on the front page, Rhea Tate jump out herself. Because I tell all you, Gary Griffith is the best politician in Trinidad. Right? Gary have a relationship with every media worker in Trinidad. Not one of those media workers going to ask a critical question. And there are two critical questions, and hey, Ronald Moses asked me in the gym tonight, but Gary is not your horse. Gary is your real boy. How come you standing against Gary? And I had to tell Ronald Moses, like I tell everybody, country first, or I have to done. And if I can't stand up against my horse, Gary know me. Gary Griffith must expect. If Dumas and the media and Abdullah and Labour and everybody else had stopped sudden and silent, I, Phillip Edward Alexander, still had to speak. Jesus Christ said that when they hold him. And no, he was riding into Bethlehem and he said, listen, if you silence me, the stones on the ground will cry out. Human being survival is all we know, you know. And if there is nobody else, somebody have to stand up and say, hey, what about this? So, I mean, Gary's my boy. Love him to death. But if he had a vex, he had a vex. Somebody have to ask the questions. Somebody have to ask the questions of Keith Rowley. So now that Phillip asked it, the media asking it, and Dumas asking it, and I see other people starting to wake up to the reality that you cannot accuse somebody of treason. You cannot accuse somebody of conspiring to murder a journalist. You cannot say that that person admitted that he corrupted the SSA and illegally wiretapped the Director of Public Prosecution's office. You cannot say that about a man. You cannot say that Gary Griffith said that he have facts and files on Denise Wren and he go add some stuff and he go dirty she name and he go send it for the Facebook sycophants from the UNC to mash you up. You cannot say that about Gary Griffith, Keith Rowley, and then go and tell the 5,000 men and women of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, look all your boss. It don't work so. And to Nicky Board and crew, all of the police service don't eat in trotters. They don't give a shit what you think. They have to wake up every single morning, not to stunt. Because as much as we want to believe that every police officer corrupt, the country would have sunk a long time ago. Yes, we have corrupt elements in the police service, and yes, we have to deal with that. But every single morning and every single evening to go and shift police officers, men and women, get dressed and leave their homes and leave their families and leave their loved ones and go out and put their lives in danger for the rest of us, while we bullshit and play and make memes and laugh and joke and talk a pile of crap, because we won't stand up for our democracy. And all of the people, you ever notice, like I said to somebody today, the people most likely to say, don't take no pictures when you're doing charity, let that be between you and God, are the people least likely to do charity. It's like your pictures shaming them. It's easy to talk and bad talk. It's easy to give people lyrics. It's easy. But when you're bouncing up with a man and you're going lineman with him in Hangers restaurant in Chaguanas and you're making friends with him to come back out and endorse him to hopefully get a little piece of the pie, come on. You're not a leader. You have no value to the country. Dog vomit better than you. You can't be selling your soul and looking to always put pieces of silver in your pocket. We have too many Judases, too many traitors, too many turncoats, too many Uncle Toms, too many house Negroes. We have too many people in this country that only care about themselves and don't give a shit about anybody else. But when Brian Sow gets shot last night, all he could think about, I am sure, is his family. What he leaving behind? Have I put everything in place? Is this okay? I watch a video of a bodybuilder. Man have a real nice body. Walk out in the stage, people cheering him. And he go to do a backflip, he mistime it, he land on his neck and dead. 20 years. Thousands of dollars in steroids and protein and all of that. One backflip and you're dead. And life is like that. You drive out your house. I will never forget driving out of Republic Bank Sports Club. Me and my son driving normal, 20 miles an hour, we chatting. And a truck break a major road and slam into me. Wake up in a hospital. Surgery after surgery, 4 surgeries. Life is like that. And ironically, it is because of that you're watching me tonight. a real government would understand the power of that song, Lego, and buy that song. That song should be, we're supposed to be milking that song all over the world to bring people here for carnival. Make a nice video and get on with that. But what to tell all you? Jackasses in office, we can't do nothing better. This is what we have. This is what we have. 2 years to the date to the Olympics. We have Dylan Carter burning the midnight oil, winning gold. Nothing from the Ministry of Sport. Nothing, no help, no assistance, nothing. Ain't nothing from none of them. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah? 2014 was a good year for soca, boy.
Girl, how you bad so? How you bad so? How you rude so? I wanna take a little piece of that. Just give me permission to walk you. Hey, cause when you whining, girl, I don't want to interrupt you. See, I'm telling you, baby, the way you're behaving. When you whine like that, tell nobody to stop you. Oh Lord, I wanna go down, go down. Let me see the waistline go round, go round. Up to the baseline, you can't sit down. Girl, you can't sit down. Don't stick now, we can't go long. And you got the realest bumper in this town. Is the way you move it up and down. Not the size and the shape, is the way that you whine and the jiggle of the waist. That bumper is too real, it's dangerous. I wanna whine, but it's looking dangerous. I wanna whine, but it could be dangerous. I just want to grind on you, girl, it's too real, it's dangerous. I wanna whine, but it's looking dangerous. I wanna whine, but it could be dangerous. I just want to grind on you.
Nice for all the slack waist girls outside there. All them mash up tongue with that song, eh? I watch, I see. I didn't want to jump in there at all because I'd embarrass myself. Yeah? But plain talk, we have to take the blame, you know. We have to take the blame. When you go in the hardware to buy material to build your house, ka-ching, Sabga checking it out. Ka-ching, everybody. And you're supposed to have an organization of state in this country that would have prevented Sabga from buying Trinidad aggregate products for that reason. There was supposed to be an organization of state in this country that prevented Kiss Baking Company from buying Quaylo's bread. Because Kiss Baking Company bought Quaylo's bread. And on that day, bread on both factories was $1.99 retail for a loaf of sliced bread. And the next day it was $3.99. The next day. So that's 55 million well-spent dollars, Sabga. Get them, boy. Get them, boy. Show them how Syria know how to do this work. Get them, boy. Teach them. Line them up. Show shiny thing on the ground for them. Let them dance for your boy. Let them dance. What is this man saying in Africa, boy? He said, when they landed, we had the land, they had the Bible. When they left, we had the Bible, they had the land.
Rajin Najim Jim Chana na 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 nazira Chana na 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 nazira Chaturang ko gaye rasa Rang ko sunaunga main.
When you're buying house, when you're building house now, the only thing Sabga own yet is the wood and the nails. But wait for it.
Chaturang ko gaye rasa Rang ko sunaunga main. Rajin Najim Jim Juma Rajin Najim Jim Juma Chana na 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 nazir Chana na 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 nazir Chaturang ko gaye rasa Rang ko sunaunga main. Chaturang ko gaye rasa Rang ko sunaunga main. Rajin Najim Jim Juma
distraction. Snakes in Point Fortin Hospital. Take distraction, so you don't pay attention. You see how they forget AV oil? You see how they forget the $100 million? All they forget. But they forget everything else, all of them doing anyway. Shamford roaming, Darrell groping, oil thieving. You ain't care. Wine jam and jam out. You have heard of snakes in the Balizé, but have you heard of snakes at the hospital? For the past 6 weeks, staff at the Point Fortin area hospital have been running scared for an apparent snake invasion. To date, 7 snakes have been discovered in different areas of the hospital, including one found by a patient wrapped around an intravenous therapy IV drip pole. Speaking to the newspaper this morning on condition of anonymity, a nurse said security officers have been helping to kill the snakes when they are found. A few weeks ago, a patient in the maternity ward informed the nurses that she had gotten up around midnight to use the toilet, and when she came off the bed, she saw the snake wrapped around her IV stand. The nurse said people are very scared to come to work here. Every time you walk into a different room, you have to check for snakes, because you never know where they could be hiding. $5,000 million a year spent on that bullshit. $1 billion spent on everything that is healthcare, $4 billion for the 1% that thief, and you jamming and they jamming. Who you think enjoying the jam better? As the Minister of Local Government, Kazim Hussain, talking to the Labre MP, telling her Rowley sent him to talk to her direct. No more text, no more email, because people finding them out. And he talking to her to collude over CPEP contractors. Listen.
Them CPEP contractors are you, I want to, the one back everyone there? Two. That's good. No, Dr. Rowley tell me to talk to all the direct.
Dr. Rowley tell me talk to all the direct. Plan who getting what. This kickback business, we must control it better. We must make sure that everybody understand how the thing play. Don't let no third hand, fourth hand come in this susu. Make sure all the thief money, all the kickback money come all the way to the PNM. And if that wasn't madness enough, to talk to you about tonight, anyway, stick up in.
It must be the budget that the bank and white all them read, 'cause all of them inside a day like this suck and crazy seed. That kind of hair couldn't come from weed.
As you talk about that, I see my boys, the prophet great-grandson, peace be unto all of them, and Pomsite Ras posing in the papers to say the PNM want to discuss decriminalizing marijuana. Because we can't talk hanging people anymore as a distraction. Young people ain't buying that. You see, the Samga media working hard to try and do what I do. So they hired Louis Hart and they put him in a studio. If you see assistants, they had called me out for the first night they were doing it for an interview. 3 cameraman, separate production studio, they have the works. And it take them 6 weeks to bus. It's like packed going and come outside. I see the man skin up on TV6. You see him being interviewed by Jahul Brown, but he skin out like he in the place, you know. Because when TV6 invite you on the set during the news to skin out, you know, that is already part of the oligarchs. Ignore, throw away. You have no use for that. I want you to know how you know that the Progressive Empowerment Party is the only party for the people, because the government working so hard to hide it, and it using stunting jackasses like Hema Ramkisoon, who does be lineman with Brian Sow, and Brian Sow get shot last night. But Hema going on TV tomorrow to peddle more bullshit because she don't have enough brain cells in that giggling Barbie doll head of hers to understand that the bullshit she defending on this level is why Brian gets shot last night. We don't understand that all the raindrops collectively caused the flood. But that is the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land. So let it play now.
This is not a fete in here, this is madness. This is not the kind of jam where you stand like a chupidi begging for mercy. This is not a fete in here, this is madness.
Tell them, brother.
Everybody mad.
Belmont suffering no water since election. Only a shame. Only a shame. Shiny things on the ground. Bend down and pick it up. The man Columbus come back. Columbus come back and he bring the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago to stunt and dance for all you. And all you taking it. Bald head. Give them the man. Look, I have a Chinese and I have a Syrian. Where you want again? Bald head come to dance. He gain all your belly. And Belmont, no water. No water. The 24% of the people who voted for the PNM. It tell all you, it tell all you to blame. It tell all you is the 76%, the jackasses who don't care. Frig that. You know what frig that mean? No water in your pipe. PNM, take jamming.
This is not a fete in here, this is madness. This is not the kind of jam where you stand like a mumu, the rhythm go jam you. This is not a fete in here, this is madness.
Why we going there? The Prisons Commissioner is telling the nation with a straight face that the internal report on the 2015 jailbreak is missing. And the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday published that as he said it without asking a single question. Because in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land, rat does eat drugs, and internal documents regarding jailbreaks does go missing routinely.
It was Wednesday morning, gone, the man business place was gone. So when you check out the better position, you can't get wrong. Here and our next union man hug up singing the song. Hear them.
Here and our next union man hug up singing the song. Listen, this is our reality. Our country feels like it has been hijacked by organized crime syndicates that operates puppet political parties as governments while they sanitize billions of dollars of questionable money through the economy in the form of service, food and public works contracts with not even a question being asked. For every fake oil and US in the plywood that makes news, for every multi-$100 million drug bust in Norfolk, Virginia or Monos Island, how many billions more escape undetected? Our systems of law enforcement and justice have been deliberately broken. National development has been stalled unless it directly facilitates corrupt enrichment. Society as a reality has been bankrupted of social capital. We've been reduced to a land of desperate labor fighting to survive amidst an unending wave of criminal enterprise, violence, and murder. Ask yourself one question. How is it possible in a country this wealthy, so full of bright and able people, could we find ourselves where the entire public sector, from the parliament down, has collapsed and failed? How? How are those 41 in the parliament the brightest and best of us? How? How is it that every government we elect are more incompetent, more broken, more corrupt than the last? How? Nothing works. Our laws have been reduced to jokes. Enforcement has been turned off. Essential rules have been gutted to prevent enforcement being turned back on. How is it that some have an unending supply of capital to buy and do whatever they want, and others cannot even get credit from a bank? How is it that some have all the foreign exchange they need to keep the flow of goods through their establishments unimpeded, while not so connected are going out of business, unable to access the regular flow of foreign exchange upon which the entire economy was built and operated? Public office holders have become the greatest facilitator of criminal enterprise. The people are trapped in a make-believe democracy. None of the essential functions of state that should be protecting the people are working. You can't send money in, you can't take money out. But overnight billionaires on dirty money are buying up the country with public officials as accomplices doing as they please. Questions that would have been asked in real countries are not asked here. Media has been bought up and corrupted, turning off anything like public oversight. How is it that with all the high-level corruption that has taken place in this country for all of these decades, not one of the perpetrators have been brought to justice? Not one. The question that presents itself is a simple one. Is it already too late to save it? Is Trinidad and Tobago an organized criminal enterprise pretending to be a functional democracy? Is it already too late?
This is not a betting here, this is madness. This is not the kind of jam where you start like a mumu, the rhythm go jam you. This is not a betting here, this is madness. Everybody mad.
Only share the video yet? Don't get lazy on me, man. Bring out the numbers. Let them see. Let them know. They affect the normal notifications that people get. People don't get anymore. Anything that Spandex man could do to jam the jamming we, you know. So you gotta get past the jam. Tell people we here. Bring them in the video.
Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? Why we going there?
We back, we back, we back, we back, we back, we back, we more than man.
Where we going? Why we going there?
It had to be that we mad, because if we weren't mad, the people of Trinidad and Tobago would not accept this, but we do. We accept it every day and every night. We drop our drawers and we bend over and we say, Grease, what name that? You just Lego iron, man. We good, we cool, we here for that. We built to take licks and abuse. That is what Trinidadians like. Give me more. When they say we like it so, I didn't understand. We really do. We's a wine back nation. We like it so. We want more. Give me iron. Keep voting PNM. Keep voting PNM. And when you're tired, vote PNM. Vote UNC. Put a little curry flavor in the iron. But there's iron after iron. 56 years of abuse. Get it. Phillip, USC is a cat, not a cat. A cat is a feline, 4 legs and birds. A cat is a jackass that wakes up every day and come to fight this fight with people who don't give a shit. If Sparrow, let me hear them words again now. Give me Slinger.
Behaving like a moron, costing me for way I bought, but if I pay hand no water, you pay too much for butter.
Pipe hand or water, you pay too much for butter. 1980, 2018, come now man, something would have changed.
Take this TV and go. The terrible school system is such a bloody problem.
The same school system that we talking about fixing 38 years later, nothing changed. You tell me Eric Chambers, Robbie Manning, Pandey, Kamala, Rowley, nothing changed.
Take this TV and go. Agriculture in a state, planning is inadequate.
Agriculture in a state, planning inadequate. He wrote this last week. This couldn't be 48, 38, whatever years ago. Sparrow had to have a crystal ball. This is our local Nostradamus. Sparrows seeing a crystal ball to get this because they couldn't be going through this in 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, 2018. Same shit, different day, and we liking it so. Northern and Southern and idols. 2 kingdoms above. Take charge. Come now, Slinger.
Anything that's wrong, he go put it right.
Anything that wrong, we will put it
Georgie
right.
Porgy tell me the other night. So instead of displaying impatience, pull yourself and give the fella a chance. How the hell you could say, oh, and I'll go do better. Bet we send you back Grenada in a drum.
The mighty Sparrow that Trinidadians call the Calypso King of the world, that they claim and they hug him up. He step out himself for a little while to get out of the PNM, and they threaten to send him back to Grenada in a drum.
We and Georgie going to put it right together. We have freeness and freedom. Plenty roti, plenty rum. Hospitals have no linen. This brown paper they're using.
Hospitals have no linen. It's brown paper they're using 38 years ago. And still, $5 billion spent this year. $5 billion spent last year. $50 billion in the last 10 years on public health. And hospitals have no linen. It's brown paper they're using.
Public transportation is an abomination.
Public transportation, PTSC, the maxi taxis, the little hustler cars, all of that suffering. We don't have it good, it's not working.
Well, food, clothes, and rent is proof. Cost of living gone through the roof.
I don't need that one.
Classified information for personal gain is common with.
Classified information like email gate, like Gary Griffin, like Rowley, like that bullshit that's going to continue. And here retracting, and here recanting, and we sitting down and say, police, look your new boss that your prime minister say is a treasonous, murderous, corrupt son of a bitch, a public office misbehavior that is capable of damaging and destroying reputations of journalists and wiretapping the DPP's office. That is what your prime minister indicted and alleged and
But we like it so. We like it
said, listen, empty tap is what we make for. Take
Casa say, how are you going to feel me? The penalty to oppose is high. That's political suicide. We have no house, so we squat, living with cockroach and rat.
We have no house, so we squat, living with cockroach and rat. 38 years to now, nothing changed.
Take this TV and go. This cesspit flowing over, you could catch yellow fever.
Your cesspit flowing over, you could catch yellow fever, you could get cholera too, and leptospirosis. But instead of dealing with that, the ministry put out, be careful of leptospirosis. Nazima Alinox are taking a break, so I was trying to see what I would look like with a beard. There's an actual poll running for 6 days on my profile. Please let me know what you think.
Take this TV and go. Soldier in bulldozer, break down the shack in mover.
Soldier in bulldozer, break down my shack in mover. But a 1%er squatting on state land, build a mall. Where that soldier, where the bulldozer, miss me with that bullshit now.
Take this TV and go. There's plenty sexual favors to be a 10 days worker, we know.
38 years now, they're bullying for CPEP and URP.
We like it so.
Walking around La Hoqueta Talparo, I met a gentleman up to his waist in filth. I mean, the house looked like it was a branch of the Labas. The man was living in a destitute life. His children, his family, you could see sufferation. The man screaming in my face, nothing but PNM, boy.
No steel beam will fall down on top of my head. Sparrow is a PNM till I dead. Body, you may be shocked when I tell you this. Hudson Phillips is a Yankee CIA. And the whole ONR is only communist.
And that is what the PNM do. That is what the PNM do. That is the PNM playbook. The PNM playbook is Carl Hudson Phillips was a CIA spy. And the whole ONR is white people come to put black people back in chains. Like how they give them the Calcutta ship in Tobago. A Calcutta ship full of Indian people coming to take Tobagonian land. That is what Rowley did in the parliament when he assassinated the characters of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Anand Ramlogan, Suraj Rambachan and Gary Griffith. When Keith Rowley stood up in the parliament and read words that he said came from Gary Griffith himself, that Gary said to people that he dirty the girl name, that he don't have files on she, and he go add more if he don't have enough, and let the UNC sycophants on Facebook destroy that journalist. Keith Rowley told the nation that Gary Griffith said that he already done organized and he corrupted the SSA and he already have a bug and an illegal wiretap in the DPP office. Keith Rowley say, Gary Griffith say that. And Friday, that stunted son of a bitch, that king of the infidels, that double-tongued deceiver, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley going inside the parliament to bring it further into disrepute, because in the place that he pissed on that man's name, he coming to sanitize him without a retraction or a recanting. But we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this must be our line in the sand. I tell him, Trinidad and Tobago, get ready, wake up. Sparrow sing this 38 years ago, only a shame.
Take Carnival away.
and make people work each day. It's years you in a union and can't get recognition. She said, take your speed, leave and go. The unemployment levy murdering everybody. Take your speed, leave and go. Children come out of college below elementary knowledge.
Morgan Job says it's a certificate mill. We're putting out 9,000 functional illiterates and 11,000 don't graduate at all.
Take the speed, leave and go. We're grieving with frustration through maladministration.
We grieving through frustration with maladministration. Come on, man. That man cried with lyrics 38 years ago and nothing changed. Nothing changed, boy. We ashamed.
But we like it so.
We like it so. We had to like it so. We had to like it so. That wasn't the only one. That wasn't the only one. Others sang too.
This is an SOS.
People ringing this alarm bell. Long time, not just me. Plenty people.
SOS, mayday, mayday, mayday.
I know the first one. Gypsy's not the only one either. We've been raising the issue. I am not the first man ringing the bell. We've been raising the issue. All the prophets have been singing. It's like stick breaking we here, boy. We have an overdeveloped, stupid gene. They can do what they want.
time.
chamber. Witness an orchestra, a bang, bang, bang.
Of only politicians,
Rated their performance and style.
talent and endurance.
A bang, bang, bang of parliamentarians.
Politics that encourage
Politics that encourage hate. Making good folks discouraged. We bridges replaced by gates. Nurturing racism.
prejudice and tribalism, multiculturalism,
Marxism from the UNC and the BNN, COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony. The GOP, MSG and JC and the political symphony. It's a symphony.
stop taking it cool.
Don't be playing for a fool. They're using race as a tool to divide, conquer, and rule.
Justify the bull.
The race that they always pull.
Lead vocalists have sore throats. Keyboardists playing wrong note.
In this bang of serial politicians, their lyrics not rhyming. Some have no sense of timing. Of parliamentarians.
Say we go for the globalists.
Promoting the cause of justice, our democracy and risk. With a section called 24, music rock to the core. Who arranged this song?
So impure with the UNC and the BNM and the COP and the
Political symphony. It's a symphony.
the GOP, MSG and JC and the
Political symphony. It's a symphony.
corruption rebuff.
Say enough is enough. The system will always fail. Once the big The system will always fail once the big fish not making jail. And you have to understand that. You cannot have 56 years of a rogue gallery. You cannot have 56 years of corruption, $3 trillion unaccounted for. You cannot spend $50 billion on public health and have this pile of shit for public health. If for the last 10 years, you can spend $90 billion in national security and 10,000 people dead from murder. You can spend $90 billion on national security and cocaine passing through Trinidad like a dose of salts. You cannot spend $50 billion on education and 11 out of 20,000 children don't even graduate. It's madness. It's madness. And it's not just them singing. Plenty people ringing the bell. Are you paying attention? A man said last night, people pulling up in Range Rover to thief your Yaris and nearly choke with that one. Get them, boy. Christopher Mugabe Sabgarowli, the first black Syrian, king of the infidels, blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago. What is your plan, policy, program, and idea for the people? What are you going to do now that you are Prime Minister?
Just hold them on one day. 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 Just hold them on one day. Hold them on one day.
Now we know business.
Hold them on one day. No, we don't business. No, we don't business. We don't like to do business. We don't like to do business. We don't like
Belmont East and Barataria, we rode in there with every resource that we had, and we come down on the ground, we knock on your door, and we spend with money. And you know, they say, a man who have $1 that give you $1, give you everything he had. A man who have $1 million that give you $1, they didn't give you the time of day. We were there, we were with you, we were walking with you, we were talking with you. You had every opportunity to send a message. All you had to do was get out your blasted bed one morning and vote. Go and send that message. Nothing changed in your lives now that the PNM and the UNC still control those two communities. But just imagine the celebration in this country if those two communities had voted for the PEP. This today, Felicia Holder would have been blowing up Wassa on Facebook, bringing all their managers. I'd be helping her. We'd be exposing them, lighting them up. Why the people of Belmont have no water today? They're laughing at you. They take your vote and gone again. We go party to the full extreme. I like it all. Also known as Johnny Sukaran, great grandson of the Prophet, peace be unto him. What do you think of the country? Because before you had all the ideas, you were stunting every morning on Hema's show and Fazil show, and you had every answer before the question was asked. You knew what they were going to do. You all could solve crime and fix the economy. You all could put US back into Trinidad and Tobago. You all want to get everybody working. How come since you get into office, all of that, nothing worked for nobody, and everything broken and the country gone backwards? It feels like we're living in the dark ages. Faris Al-Rawi, now that you are the Attorney General, what is your plan for the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Just hold them and walk there. 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 Just hold them and walk there. 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 No, we don't business.
We in the PNM. We don't business. We don't care.
Free up like they don't business. Free up like they don't business. No, we don't business. No, we don't business. No, we don't business. 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 We don't business.
Take away discipline, tolerance, and production. We do business. We don't give a shit. You could piss on me back and tell we is rain. As long as we recognize that rain, we happy. Give we more. Give we. Hold we and walk we. Because that's what we make for. We stupid. We dotish. We have an overdeveloped dotish gene. We will watch a jackass from Mason Hall who couldn't win a bingo in Tobago come and win an election in a voter-padded gerrymandered. Keep Christopher disgusting, stinking, double-tongued, deceitful Rowley. Why you going after Brian Stone and the little possessions? You dirty, dirty man. Why you don't stand up to people who can really debate you? Come out your hole, na man, you blasted Zandoli. Trinidad and Tobago need to see you and your bunch of dwens and malcontents. The entire band of you. You and Stuart Young and Faris Al-Rawi and Carl Membert. The bunch of you. Shit snakes from shit snake land. The people of this country. I am the first one talking. This one written 30 years ago. 30 years ago, this one written. What we doing, Trinidad and Tobago? Who they have to get away with again? What they have to do again? What?
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell
Our country's fate.
you will use it well.
Before it's too late. When you voted for the PNM in Belmont East, you sent a message to the country that Belmont East people do not care about themselves and each other. That Belmont East people are happy with garbage, rats and roaches, no water in the tap, their house falling down, nobody taking care of their community, gunshots in the night and gunshots in the day. The people of Belmont East, when you voted for the PNM, you said that you like things just as they are. Catching your ass and suffering, can't put food in the fridge, can't buy Pampers and milk for your child, but you're taking it unto the 76% who didn't vote at all. All you was. All you really was. Because you know what? You had a chance at a rescue. You had an opportunity. You could have sent a message that would have changed this country. You let the whole nation down.
If it is that who you're voting, fairly or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change must come about. Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Say no finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate your brain. Let's put our country together again. If for 20 years you're voting them in, and it's only tears as soon as they win.
Belmont East, they win. How come you have no water? Garbage still piling up. Belmont East, what changed?
They give you big words and enslave your souls, promising your roads and killing the roads. If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout,
Jimmy and Ryan are going full Gandalf and not shaving till I can do this.
when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting,
As he said that, what went on with Chinley wife and the 4 charges and all the laws that she break when she was flying down the road speeding, child wasn't in seatbelt, she didn't have license and insurance, and Chinley went inside there and zipped down and showed them the Chinese gorgon. That's what he went to do. I Howard Chinley, look me, you know me? My daddy was Arthur Chinley. He used to finance the PNM, so I get pay one. Look me Chinese gorgon. That's what Howard went to the police station to do. Anybody find out what happened since?
vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building heights, south, east, west, north, and south,
Just as how you vote them in.
vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally.
And if you find that the people who find are just talk too plain and too straight, I want you to understand, they have a world of assholes outside there waiting to take your vote and cut your throat. They have plenty bullshit artists. They have COP, MSJ, AOI, PACT, ILP, and the world of the alphabet. All of them coming to rub your ears, whisper sweet bullshit for you to hear. I not like Rowley, you know. I go whine a little different. That's what they want to do for you. You want that for your vote? For those of you who talking about how I talking, listen. They have a solution, you know. This is brand new. Facebook launch it today. Just turn me the frig off.
Stay your finger and rescue the country. Put them out the tempo. They have been paid. Let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain.
can't get help. If you need help right now, you can't get help. But you have me to study. Some of you assemble bad and put together wrong. All you're getting outraged for the wrong things. The thing that's supposed to be pissing you off, that Barack Poe, boy, don't back the Rohan tell all you, born what they want. We are taking all you on. We's paying them. Or they see we are. We can do what the ass we want. This is paying country.
If their policy is a policy, their bureaucracy a catastrophe. If they can afford,
And you see it so, then your only hope is for all the jackasses to go.
if it is fabrication, these statements that they spout,
When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
if it is a frustration,
Just make you want to shout.
when you
If it is that frustration does make you want to shout. You see, the people who care have passion and it comes out in their words. I'm not here to bullshit you. I don't have the time, the length, or the inclination to be doing that. Our reality is simple. If somebody in your household right now fall down with a heart attack, or get snake bite, or get chopped, or get in an accident, the chances of them surviving Trinidad's public health is slim to none. The ambulance response, getting into casualty, getting from casualty to a bed, all those are steps that Jesus Christ and Muhammad have to come and help with. Peace be unto both of them. But our truth and our reality cannot be escaped. And instead of all of us waking up every day outraged, when you walk into a bank and you find out that the bank is slowly pilfering all your money instead of giving you interest, you're supposed to get outraged. You're supposed to go to the central bank governor, to the minister of finance, and you can't because you don't know how to, but I can and I do. It is why I have 6 regional corporations so far have admitted that case-making companies breaking the law. Nobody else in Trinidad and Tobago want to stand up against Bermudez, but I can and I will. And you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, should see that you have an example of real democratic, lawful, law-abiding political organization willing to stand up for you, with you, by you, to involve you. Every Saturday we have a public meeting. This Saturday at noon, your party again, laid there for you to come and kick the tires and test drive. But we're too lazy. We assemble wrong and put together bad. We like our bullshit soft and runny. Waiter, this one here has flies.
you're voting, vote them out. Before they misuse us,
Thief out, sell out, and lease out. If it's you who vote them in, vote them out.
register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out. Them on the system, vote them out. Vote them out in Scarborough and in Port of Spain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out in Komuto
And in Laramie,
let's put our country together again.
now I'm gonna tell all you, and I'm saying it once, because I ain't no beggar man. And all you know, I fight in my battles on my own dime. But it's getting onerous, it's getting strenuous, and if you would like to help, I am putting up a PayPal link in the thing. Don't beat up, don't beg up. If you can help, help. If you can't help, no scene, no stress, no worries. But outside here, and I'm fighting the fight for everybody else, and all of these battles, they cost time and they cost money. If you can assist, I just put a link in the thread of this video. Click it, send out something for your boy now. People must come first, citizens by right. None of we are worse, yellow, black or white. Food, shelter and clothes, free movement and speech. A garden that grows, and one love for each. A day will come when history will look back. We, the next generation, future generations will look back at now And they will either consider this the darkness before the dawn or the precipitation before the collapse. We get to decide. It is 1.4 million of us. The parasitic oligarchy, for all the silk ties and silk drawers they wear, they're a bunch of squeamish, shitty little people, you know. And we can address and deal. Name and shame and they're gone, you know. They were to grab up their stolen loot and get out. Them lawyers and them accountants, they don't like their name to call, you know. They like to pretend when they're sitting down in the front pew of the church that they're working hard for that money that they get. And I understand. It's a theftocracy. And thief watching thief, and both of them know how each of them get their money, you know. But we pretending that your little 2x4 cloth store or your little restaurant on the avenue that don't get nobody giving you money to build all them branch and all them mall and all them gas station, all that shit, fooling people engaged in the worst kind of the most reprehensible bullshit. And if you want to fix this country, you have to face that. Somebody tell me, Phillip, stop telling them about the businessmen. They don't like to hear that. Miss me with that bullshit. You have to understand that the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce has the power to do what I am straining to do with Kiss Baking Company. The Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association could put out a release inside their organization telling Bermuda, stop that shit, that you're making all of we look bad, that when you go out during the day to illegally vend, to shut down authentic entrepreneurs in their bakeries by undercutting them because you have no rent. So you're taking little suffering Trinbagonians and putting their lives in danger so you can make an extra pound of flesh. Come on! The Chamber of Commerce could address that. The Central Bank Governor could address that. The Minister of Finance could address that. All of these people can address it. But as soon as I cross 8 regional corporations, we are going to go to the court and file for an injunction to get an order from the court commanding all regional corporation CEOs to instruct their police service that any Kiss Baking vendor that they see selling on public roads, public land, the highway, they are to be removed and charged.
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, put them on, put them on. If it is that avarice is all they seem to know, when you're voting, put them on, put them on. If it is that politics is just a puppy show, when elections day come, all bandits must go,
All 41.
register and put them on. If they can see,
Put them out.
stain your finger and
Put them out.
show them no mercy.
Put them out.
Put them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, terminate the reign. Let's put our country together again.
For far too long, spite and bad mind has disturbed and deteriorated this country. For far too long, 56 years, $3 trillion, nothing to show for it. A capital city that smells like piss. Its counterpart in the Southland smells like piss as well. And they're going to give them a boardwalk to piss from. Because it's easy to fool Trinidadians and chain them up with nonsense. Look some shiny things on the ground, bend down and pick it up. It's how Columbus ended up with the line in the first place. And it's time for us to face the reality of our situation, our circumstances are as a direct result of our apathy and our laziness. The racists among us that keep voting for the PNM and the UNC, they are enough to make a difference when the rest of us don't vote. If we come out and vote, we will silence them because we outnumber them. It is time for the real patriots and the civic-minded people of Trinidad and Tobago to stand up and stand together for our country. It is time to tell them that we're not accepting this anymore. It is time to say that enough is enough, that the day of the mocking pretender is over. It is time to get them fire.
Tell me what they're fighting for, what they're killing for. We don't need no more now. Tell them wicked people, fire upon them, fire upon them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire upon them, fire upon them. Oh, silver you and man at all. bad mind. Oh, you's a bad man.
Imagine that you woke up in a Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow where the police service was actually redeveloped with a functional internal affairs division, because we've spoken to the people in New York City Police Department Internal Affairs who have done a marvelous job of turning Gotham into the #1 tourist destination in the world. New York City has 8.5 million people. We have 1.4. They had 291 murders last year. We had 500 and change. We take ours and jam in still. They have ended up with hours of debate as to how they're going to reduce it. The police officers, 65,000 of them, tell you that they're not afraid gangster, they're not afraid terrorists, they're afraid internal affairs. In Trinidad and Tobago, we're afraid jack shit. We're afraid crapo and snake. But we're not afraid. We can do what we want. This is the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land. Once your wife have a walk, I have a partner who always posting about the plastics and it killing the birds. His wife work in Movie Town. Now, Movie Town was built where the actual wetlands used to be. Gary Aboud stood up in the middle of that highway and put himself at risk for months trying to stop Movie Town, destroying the mangrove. Sadiq Bash tell the nation, we will move it and we will put it back. Jackasses that we are, we accept that. And when they decimated the mangrove to build Movie Town, to profit here, and I don't blame your brother. Your wife have a nice job there. You're eating well, your children eating well, cool. But don't stunt. Don't come and fight me when I tell you end the hypocrisy where the environment is concerned. Because Movie Town was an indictment against a real nation caring about our environment. We know business, we don't care, and you have to know where you coming from, and you have to know where you benefiting from. Because if you are part of the enterprise that damaging and destroying the country, you can't come after and talk and pretend. What about the turtles? What about the turtles? Bro, where were you and the turtles when they was destroying the mangrove to build Movie Town? Where were you? And I'm saying that, and I just go Movie Town. I'm not a hypocrite. I wouldn't go Massey stores and give them 50 cents that sell me a plastic bag that they used to give me for free. Like somehow that is saving the environment. I saw that stunt a million miles away. But me and Massey, we go a long way back. I recognize a lot of their profiteering ways. And I'm the first to bring it to the people, even though I still used to shop there. Now, after what I just experienced there, I don't think I ever need to go back to Massey. But the point I want to make is this. Hear me now. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, could fix anything. We could change anything. Imagine you woke up in a Trinidad and Tobago this morning, the police service was functional, where the school service had, where the school system had no SEA. All the schools were zoned. All the schools were prestige schools. All the children had a GPA. And the performance of the children at the end of the term was used to determine the future of the teacher. The teacher had to defend the collective GPA of his or her class. And the principal had to defend the collective GPA of all the schools. Imagine if you had a decentralized public health facilities with 41 health centers with accident and emergency suite and minor surgery suite 24/7 in every constituency. Imagine if we had 41 water makers, if we had 41 different decentralized water gatherers, producers, and distributors. Imagine how much water we would have in our taps tonight if we had 41 battling business units. Imagine if we had a country where we secure the nation, where we secure the borders, where we stop the flow of guns, so no more guns can come in because we secure the borders with the maritime security wall. Imagine that nation if we tell police officers $1,000 for every gun that you bring in and drop in on the smelter. So we smelt it down to a block of iron, one more gun off the street of the 30,000 Pete Rowley said was there. Imagine that country. Imagine a country that is open, the banking sector is open for competition and regulated, so that banks have to pay you interest on your deposits, so they will have no choice but to offer credit to the market. Imagine that country. Imagine living in a Trinidad and Tobago where it is easy for you to get access to farmland, to work in collaboration with the state and grow food. We would have the consumption data, so we would know what could be grown where and what would sell how. We would set those prices and hold the prices down and distribute it through national wholesale and retail markets. Imagine this country, but better. Imagine this country but functional. Imagine this country where every hairdresser and mechanic and carpenter and mason could go and get certified, where every welder that learned to weld as a hustle could come and find out what is his skill set so he could be certified and given an opportunity to bill for what he is due and owing. Imagine going to a hairdresser and a mechanic and seeing their certificate on the wall, knowing that if they do a bad job, you have somebody that you could report them to. Imagine a country where even the real estate agents had to be licensed. So all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Imagine a country set up deliberately for every creed and race to have an equal place. Imagine removing the labas and setting up the largest duty-free assembly commercial enterprise in the Caribbean. Imagine this country leading the world in yachting industry. We are the only Caribbean island, the only one outside of the hurricane belt. Imagine 11 to 15 cruise ship terminals in Tobago, joint ventures, private partnerships, government and private sector working together with overseas suppliers, bringing cruise ships, putting 1 million feet on the ground. Imagine this country only better. Imagine real jobs for people, even those at minimum wage level. Imagine them being able to own a home. Imagine the government making sure that every single citizen who wants a job could get a job, and everybody who has a job could own a home. Imagine that, Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine a country where we lower the value-added tax to 5% on food and medicine and rest the hurt on all them BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Range Rover and all them multi-million-dollar Bertram and sailboat park up in Yacht Club and Yachting Association. Imagine a country that removed the property tax from all first-time homeowners, but every second home and third home and fourth home escalating and increased tax, so that we will take all the corruption and the drug money out of the real estate market and lower the price of houses. Imagine this country only better. Trinidad and Tobago could have been that country. We could still be that country. It is not too late, you know. You just need to vote yourself people who have real compassion for people. We've never had that. We've had stunting jackasses speaking crap to the people and selling them nonsense. It is time for all of that foolishness to be done. We could have a better country. We just have to want it. Belmont could have wake up in a better community today. Belmont just needed to want it. I take the lash. Y'all didn't know us? No problem. We working. We on the ground. We doing the work. We will be out there every single day. I have separated myself. The Progressive Empowerment Party, Felicia Holder is the acting political leader. Now, Stephen Reese say, Philip, the difference between me and you is I'm not running for nothing. I could say what I want, but I will do the same thing, Stefan. You and me outside there, and we will light it all up. Trinidad and Tobago, you deserve better. We deserve better. We deserved a better nation 56 years ago. When Eric Williams conned the nation, lowered the Union Jack, raised the red, white, and black, did nothing to change the banditry and the corruption that was going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Slavery didn't end. Massa change. Trinidad and Tobago need a government that goes after all those mocking pretenders that stole our money and bring our money back and bring those people to justice. We have demonstrated time and time again that the Progressive Empowerment Party is the only political organization willing to stand up against all organizations that are bending and breaking the rules of the country. We want a better Trinidad and Tobago, and we believe that together we can have all of the ideals that the framers of the Constitution had when they said, whereas we the people of Trinidad and Tobago, it is time for a better nation. You could have it. All those songs I played for you tonight, all of them, don't make all of those people sing in vain. It is time for us to stand up, spread the word, evangelize. Our work is to educate, inform, and empower, liberate, and emancipate. That is our role. PEPTrinbago@gmail.com, peptt.com. We have a PEP app, PEP, 347-4PEP is a hotline. And if you don't remember any of that, you can message me. And until we speak again, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.